Welcome to Slash Christian Church in rural Hanover. The nearest neighbor is a quarter of a mile away. The visitor would enter the property by this driveway, coming up the hill and seeing the church on the right. The educational building is to the left and was built in 1954. The building holding the sanctuary was built in 1729. Visitors enter the building through these narrow doors. The entryway is small. There is an information board to the right and the stairs to the balcony. To the left is an information table, the visitor's book, and a catch-all table. Gathering space is not here. After the first service, there is a coffee hour in the fellowship hall. As you come down the aisle, the pews are in a line to the left and the right. The rug is where the pastor stands while he speaks. The lectern is to the right. The altar or table is in the center. The pastor and two elders sit in the chairs during communion. The choir area and the pulpit. And yes, there is a flag. The only artwork is the Lord's Prayer and two flower vases. The organ and the piano. These doors are the accessible doors into the building. And as you can see, we have plain windows. This gives you a view of how small the space is and of the balcony. Before I leave the downstairs area, I will show you where the baptism pool is. It was added to the front of the building after a fire in 1974. Prior to that, it was the river, or they held a service at the other Disciple Church in Ashland. This is a view from the balcony. The balcony has a couple of new pews, and it also has a couple of the original pews. Not where I would want to sit during a long sermon. Before we exit, I'd like to show you the key that's used to enter the building. It's hard to get these replaced. Back outside, you can see the educational building built in 1954. You can see the side of the church with the ramp to access the building and the parking area that was added to be close to the building. You can see just how plain the church is. The back side of the church and the cemetery, which goes from the front of the building down the hill and then also to the back side of the building. This is the new educational building, which was built in 1974. This is a picture of the church in the early 1880s, right after the new educational building was built, and the historical marker that's on the road for the church.